Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today in this video I'm going to do my top 10 films for the year of 2013. That is nationwide films. That means any film that was released before, on or before the date of December 15th of the year 2013 is eligible, whether it was January or today. As long as it released before December 15th of 2013, it is eligible. Release afterwards, not that the film isn't good or anything like that, but obviously I haven't seen it yet, so only films released before that date will be eligible. That is nationwide films. The reason I say that is because I will be actually making roughly, maybe even more, at least 3 videos about top 10. One will be, which is this video, a top 10 nationwide films in general. That list, this list I'm getting ready to do will not include horror films. I'm going to do a separate video that will be my top 10 nationwide horror films for the year of 2013. I will also do a third top 10 video. It will be my top 10 limited release films, or top 10 independent release films that were independently released straight to DVD or video on demand or limited theaters. And that third list will mainly be horror films. And if you guys know my channel any, I like horror films a lot, and that's why I wanted to make separate lists. So this list I'm getting ready to do right now will not include any horror films, because those horror films are solely reserved for two other separate videos, just so you guys know. Once again, just like my television series and just like my previous top 10 videos from previous years back in the year 2012, this top 10 list once again is not in order. Just you can put in any order you want to. These are just in no particular order my top 10 favorite films in general, once again excluding horror films for the year of 2013. And let's get to it, shall we? 2013 has been a great year for films. Can't say it any better. 2012 was good. 2013 was probably even better. First up, before I do my top films for the year of 2013, let's go to my honorable mentions. These are films, just like most people do, that weren't good enough to get in my top 10, but definitely are still worth talking about. So my first honorable mention, this one got a lot of rave reviews, a lot of Oscar talk, and definitely nominated one. I think it already has been. Is when they filmed the name of Gravity, starring George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. I don't know if the Oscars have been announced yet. Anyways, enough about that. Gravity, sci-fi concept, really enjoyed. Sandra Bullock's performance is great. Not in my top 10 because I have other films that I thought were better, but I still thought Gravity was really cool. Definitely a 10 out of 10. I reviewed it, so if you guys want to check that out for my full review. But I really enjoyed Gravity, mainly because of the way it was shot and just that it was overall entertaining. But I love the way it was shot. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about put in my honorable mention list, because the way it was shot was so cool. The Spanish director by the name of Alfonso Cuarón directed that, and I really liked his style with that. So that's one of the main reasons it's on my top 10 is the way it's shot. But overall, just a very entertaining film. Another honorable mention of mine that probably won't be on many people's list is a film by the name of The Host. Not very good critically. I'm not for sure how it did financially, but I really enjoyed this film, mainly because of the ending. I like those last 10 minutes where it got really sentimental. I won't say what happens, but it gets really sentimental towards the end. That I really enjoyed. I like the concept. My only minor complaint is it got sort of weird and a little goofy when the girl was talking to herself. Because of 2 people living inside one brain. But I like the concept of that. It was, some of the stuff she said, just didn't come off on the right way. And if you watch my review, you can get my full opinion on that. That I have on my channel. Just type that in the search bar. But overall, still good enough for an honorable mention. I really enjoyed the science fiction concept. A German-American actress by the name of Diane Kruger is in it, and she was a great villain in it that I really enjoyed. And William Hurt was also in it, playing the character of Zedekiah, her uncle, and I really enjoyed him also. So overall, definitely an honorable mention. We have a movie by the name of 42 that I really liked. 42 was just a really cool film that I can't say anything bad about it, based on the life of the first black baseball player by the name of Jackie Robinson, and I liked that. I really liked the movie, and I really didn't know how to feel about it, before watching it, but after I watched it, it was a great film. Definitely worth an honorable mention. Harrison Ford was great in it, along with the actor who played Jackie Robinson's character, whose name escapes me. But overall, definitely worth an honorable mention. An animated film by the name of Epic. If you guys are wondering why I'm looking down down is because I'm reading this off a piece of paper. The films. Anyways, Epic. I really enjoyed Epic. Nice. It starred several actors. Colin Farrell. Anyways, I really enjoyed Epic. It was a nice, fun, animated film. Not good enough to be on my top 10, but definitely an honorable mention that I have to mention because my honorable mention list definitely wouldn't be complete without it. It's just a really cool concept that I liked a lot. The whole leaf people. Elysium was another great honorable mention that I really enjoyed. Starring the actor of Matt Damon and Charlotte Copley playing the villain, and also Julie Roberts. I really liked the film. It was cool. It was fun. It was science fiction. Overall, it was just a fun film that I can't say anything bad about. It's just a nice, bloody science fiction film that had a cool concept to it. Frozen. Most people probably have this on top 10, but mine just an honorable mention. Really enjoyed it. Nothing bad to say about it. Nice animated Disney musical. And it's just a really cool one. Jack the Giant Slayer is my last honorable mention. Some people may not even mention this one in their honorable mentions or top 10, but I really enjoyed it. Had some great performances, some great special effects in it. I love the ending, or towards the end. I don't want to say anything, but it says, when the giants say fee fi fo fum and they all jump off their world. That was a great scene. That scene really sold me on the movie. So overall, those films I just listed are my honorable mentions for the year of 2013. And now let's get to the most important part, my top 10 films or movies for the year of 2013. Once again, in no particular order. Starting with the first one on my list here is a film by the name of The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Watch my full review for this if you want to know more information on this one. I love this film. I can't say enough good things about it. It was a great film, a great addition to the whole Lord of the Rings, not really trilogy anymore. Yeah, we have the Lord of the Rings trilogy and soon to be Hobbit trilogy in the next year or so once They're Back Again comes out. But definitely have to include that one. It was so cool, shot greatly. Definitely enjoyed The Hobbit. It was just really fun to watch. I have to include it mainly because of Benedict Cumberbatch playing the character of Smaug. Oz the Great and Powerful, directed by the director of Sam Raimi, starring Mila Kunis and James Franco. Oz the Great and Powerful was one that I really enjoyed, and some people may not include it on their top 10, but overall, I love the film, and I have to include it because, once again, as with films on my honorable mention list, top 10 list wouldn't be complete without Oz the Great and the Powerful. Like the film in general, and overall, definitely worthy on my list. I mainly liked the visual, Sam Raimi's style, not to mention James Franco's performance was just stunning and phenomenal in general. An animated film by the name of The Crood, starring the actor of Nicolas Cage, probably the best animated film I've seen this year. I liked it more than Frozen, honestly. The Crood's just a great and fantastic film. I like that whole, just concept. I won't say it too much, but the concept it had. And probably one of the best roles that Nicolas Cage has been in a while. If not his best role. I still like him a lot in Knowing, too. But The Crood is just really cool, and probably my favorite animated film of the year. Definitely on my top 10. The Great Gatsby, starring Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio, was one that I really enjoyed. Once again, my list is probably a little bit different than most people's. But I really enjoyed The Great Gatsby. I can't say anything bad about it. Some great performances, a great romantic drama where I'm not normally into films like that. But The Great Gatsby, 5th time being remade, originally coming from a 20 silent film, I believe. Originally based off a book, I believe. That overall I really enjoyed a nice different film that that's something that I don't normally watch, but still good enough to be on my top 10 films. So then another film, a science fiction film that most people probably have on the list, is a film by the name of Star Trek 2 Into Darkness, or Star Trek Into Darkness, a sequel to Star Trek. Obviously starring Zachary Quinto and several other actors. I loved Star Trek. I liked the first one quite a bit. Nothing wrong with it. I loved the second one even more. The second one had that sentimental vibe that the first one really didn't have. It was just a fun action sci-fi film, but that second one gave it that sentimental and emotional value that the first one was missing. And overall, really enjoyed Star Trek 2 Into Darkness. Another film in my top 10, probably if not one of my favorite films out of the year, definitely up there competing with Hobbit, is Man of Steel. Big Superman fan all the way back from the 70s, and 80s. When the old ones came out. with Christopher Reeves. I thought that Henry Cavill played a great role. Michael Shannon played the character Rosado. It was definitely my favorite thing about the film. The visuals and the action and the acting and the characters were all just great to watch, great concept, and I just, overall, Man of Steel, once again, would not be complete. Top 10 wouldn't be complete without that movie. Pacific Rim was a great film. A lot of people thought it was just action over substance. Well, I thought it had a decent amount of substance there with the whole, being able to, communicate with the minds of the monsters, that whole concept, that with Ron Perlman's character. I thought it had a pretty decent concept to it too. Once again, the action does overshadow that substance, but mainly, I thought it was an overall great film, mainly for the action, but it did have some substance there in my opinion. Pacific Rim, though, definitely on my top 10 list. Prisoners was a great sort of thriller drama with a little bit of horror vibes in there, probably quite a bit actually, starring who does it star? Sorry, my mind escapes me. Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman, obviously, and Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman playing, pretty much Jake Gyllenhaal playing a cop, Hugh Jackman playing a troubled father whose kid just got kidnapped, and he's just trying to find them, and just probably is one of his best roles, if not his best. I really liked him. It's a comfort to see him, out of Wolverine for once into a drama. So that was really cool. Machete Kills, once again, this probably won't be on many people's list at all. Starring Danny Trejo, Cuba Gooding Jr., Lady Gaga, several people are in this movie. Mel Gibson, Charlie Sheen. I really enjoyed Machete Kills. Great action film. Demian Bichir is also in it. Definitely my favorite thing about it was Demian Bichir. I just loved his character, loved his acting. He's from the FX show called The Bridge. And he was just really cool. I liked the movie a lot. Great action. Big fan of the first one. I'm a big fan of those, those sort of over-the-top films that have that sort of grindhouse action vibe. Films like Death Proof and Planet Terror. And once again, Robert Rodriguez, who did Planet Terror, gives us another great film, that surpasses Machete with Machete Kills. So I really enjoyed that. And my last film on my list of the top 10 films for the year 2013, once again in no particular order, is a film starring Morgan Freeman and Tom Cruise by the name of Oblivion. I really enjoyed Oblivion. It had a great concept. Probably one of my favorite films with Tom Cruise. It was just really cool to see him in that, and it just had a cool, Morgan Freeman's probably my favorite thing about it. I don't want to say too much, but just if you've seen the film, you probably know why. But I really liked him. Tom Cruise was great in it too. Had a great concept with, and overall, in general, it was just a really cool film that I really enjoyed. And that is pretty much my top 10 list for the films for the year 2013. That is nationwide films. And then, of course, my honorable mentions. And make sure to stay tuned in for the next few days, a week or so. I will be putting out a top 10 horror films nationwide. Obviously, this video will be uploaded in my top 10 nationwide in general without horror films in the list. And then a top 10 independent video on demand limited release. Those smaller straight to DVD films and stuff that no one really talk about or know about that much. So 3 separate videos and maybe even more if I feel like making them. Anyways, that's my top 10 films for the year 2013, both nationwide, not excluding horror, and honorable mentions. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my page below. I can't wait to see the films in 2014. So we'll see you guys later with more videos by Centipede Geek.